Hello, my beautiful friends. This is Shireen Purewal with the BC Home Group, bringing you all the latest real estate news that I have, and as well as a forecast of what I think will happen in the market based on what I'm currently seeing. First of all, I want to make sure that you all had a great Christmas, great family time together. We're all enjoying a bit of quiet time. And let's not mention the beautiful snow. And it was so magical that it happened to snow exactly on Christmas Day. It was I loved it. It was a nice touch there from God up there. But back to the real estate news. I don't know if you've all heard about this new announcement that they're talking about, what they call a cooling off period. Now, for those of you who've bought a pre-sale condo from me, for pre-sales, there is what we call a cooling off period. And what this means is when you buy a pre-sale, you have 7 days to decide, you know what, I don't want to go through with this anymore. I actually want my deposit back. The developer allows you to make that decision. Now, what's happening now is they're having discussions now of applying that cooling off period as well to any unconditional offer for homes, townhouses, to the whole real estate portfolio that you can say. Okay, so they're saying, you know, any home that you put an unconditional offer on, you have 7 days to withdraw. So technically, a seller will never know his home is sold. Okay, and the issue I have with this is it could happen on 5. You could have someone putting an offer on 5 homes, and they have a cooling off period on these 7 properties. So, and you're basically tying down these 7 properties for this cooling off period. Now, do I think that we are going to fix this with the cooling off period, this real estate market? No, I don't think so. I think that we can only fix this whole real estate market issue that we're facing with increasing interest rates, because this whole real estate market inflation that you're seeing right now is fueled by the debt market. It's as simple as that. There's cheap money out there. There's a lot of money being printed out there. That combination is what's fueling this housing market. And investors, you're seeing the luxury home prices go up as well, and them having more money as well in that market, because they're saying, hey, real estate's a solid place to put my money in. I made all this money in the markets, and interest rate is so cheap right now. Why don't I invest in a commodity, an asset that I know has been going up 20%? Home prices in Vancouver gone up 20%. Now, yes, we're experiencing inflation. Yes, they're trying to put on this cooling off period, which I do not think is the solution to how it's like me saying I have a cut, and over time the cut gets infected, and I'm trying to do all these home remedies. I need antibiotics. It's infected. So for our housing market right now, we need to increase interest rates. It's gone out of proportion. The average home price is now over $1 million, right? The average Canadian can, and our debt market, the IMF released a report today. The global debt levels are at all-time highs. Means that there's never been debt levels at this level in the world, in the whole world. So we're seeing, I just came back from South Africa. I'm seeing the same thing happen there. I'm seeing inflation there. I'm seeing inflation here. I'm seeing real estate prices go up in the US, in Canada, and it's because government's printing money. So for you to put this cooling off period and think that it's going to help, yeah, the wound's infected. It'll help just, maintain it or hold it status quo. It's not going to help fix it. So to fix it, you need to stop making money so cheap and stop making money so abundant. And also, you also need to increase supply. That's a huge part of it. But the real medicine and remedy is to not give away so much money to people, cheap money, in my opinion. And this cooling off period, I think it's going to create more complications where you're going to have one person putting offers in 5 different properties, trying to book all 5 of them and figure out which one they want for their cooling off period. So let's see if that passes through. They're still in discussion phase and whatnot, or to see how they're going to lay it all out. But definitely Google it and read more about that. And what else did I want to say to you guys? I just basically wanted to say that they're talking about increasing interest rates in April. Okay, that's coming as per the market. Are they going to increase it a lot? No. Will we see it affect the market? No, typically not immediately, because once you increase interest rates, you tend to see the results of that increased interest rate 3 or 5 years later, because the average Canadian is locked in a 5-year or a 3-year fixed mortgage. So for them, it won't matter because they're in fixed payment anyways, so they're not going to see the effect of that increase in interest rates. But for those getting into the market, they will see it. So you're not going to have those entering the market bidding up the prices, because they also have access to cheaper money in our market right now. I mean, we're at all-time highs for borrowing in the world, debt levels in the world, and we're at all-time lows for interest rate in the world. Woo, that scale is off. And we need to address it. And you know what's funny? So a lot of this real estate market hype that you see comes from the stock market, the bond markets. Bond is essentially debt, government debt, printing money, right? So when you see the stock market today, the S&P 500 hit all-time highs for record. You should see the charts. They've never seen a chart that's just been like, whoop. And you'll notice the chart go up significantly from 2010 to now, 2011, when the whole subprime crisis happened. And that's when banks took this whole approach of, let's just print money. Let's give out cheap money. Let's increase borrowing, making borrowing cheaper, financing their own, trying to finance your own economy to recover, essentially. So where do I see this real estate market going, guys? I see us having to increase interest rates. It's inevitable. It's coming. Do I see prices decreasing? No, I don't see it decreasing for at least a year or two. And I'll tell you why, because most people are fixed in those mortgages and they're not going to see effect anyways. Interest rate increases will be gradual because they're concerned it's going to collapse the housing market, and they don't want that. I think that goods and supplies are still going to keep prices high because there's supply issues with the disease and traveling and restrictions of travel. So that's those bottlenecks of goods getting to certain factories on time and whatnot is causing all good prices to go up. So we're still experiencing inflation in the construction industry. And also the biggest, so they're going to increase interest rates and make it harder. Supply chain issues and supply of homes, actually building homes. These developers are experiencing delays as well, and they're experiencing increased costs. So supply and building homes, there's not that many homes being built for the amount of people who are demanding it. So increasing the interest rates will reduce the competition of people in the market, but it's still you got significant amount of competition in the market to buy a home here in Victoria. So if you want to buy a house, and you're waiting for that bubble to crash, I don't see that bubble anytime soon, to be honest with you, based on the statistics that I'm seeing. We are still talking about all-time high inflation happening up in 2022. And in 2020 all-time highs, we're going to see interest rates go up slightly in April. I would say 25 basis points. And so 0.25%. And then that's what my prediction is. Again, I don't know, but it's going to start gradual. They're not going to just shock everyone at once. And for those locked in interest rate, 5-year, 3-year fixed, they're not going to feel the repercussions of it. And this whole market, we're at all-time highs in the world for debt levels. IMF letter, read it. And about the cooling off period, or the rescission period that they call it, read about it, Google it and read about it. Just trying to give you information, keep you guys ahead of the real estate market here in BC. And if you're looking to buy or sell and you want my honest opinion, come to me. I'll just lay it out for you and let you know what you should do based on your circumstances. For some, it makes sense to get in right now. For some, it makes sense to wait. For some, it makes sense to invest elsewhere. So if you want to have that honest conversation with me, I'm always here to help and assist all of you. And I send love and tons of regards to everyone out there. And thanks for keeping me going and wanting to always help and share my knowledge with all of you out there. Cheers, take care, and be safe, everyone. Bye now.